Steal.
Donald Trump, $20.
Ryan.
When you're president-elect, you get the 100% markup.
Oh, hey there, YouTube. Didn't see you there. This is weird. This is Unicycle Fight, and today we're doing a CPU upgrade. My big problem right now is my processor isn't strong enough to handle video capture while playing a game and all the demands of Adobe Premiere. We're gonna go ahead and upgrade our system. This is a big investment for me, so I wanted to have better quality videos for you guys, and I didn't want that to be a hurdle. This is what we got today. This is the AMD FX Wraith, well, with a Wraith cooler, because it's 8 cores. 8 cores, 4.2 gigahertz. If you don't speak tech, it's just really a lot of raw power. I have an AMD Phenom Black quad core, and essentially it's not giving me enough. But that's why I opted to go with an A350 FX, so I didn't have to switch out my motherboard. Also, it's much cheaper than the Intel. This is our unboxing. This is what it looks like. This is more than likely the Wraith cooler up top. This tiny little box, that's our actual processor right here. So yeah, we get a nice little AMD sticker if you like stickers. I personally hate stickers. They freak me out because I'm a weird person. I don't know. I've always hated them. And then this is our CPU. You want to be very careful because we don't want to break any of the pins or else we're kaputskis. Let's see. I'm kind of excited. I already have a cooler, but I want to see what this one has. The Phenom Black I got, the quad core, had the noisiest fan on it. So also we have our thermal grease right here, but I don't know if you guys can see, it looks like they've already put a layer of thermal grease on this, so I'm wondering if I even need to do that. And what thermal grease is, it just helps to transfer heat from the processor, which does generate a lot of heat, especially something that's running 4 gigahertz and 8 cores. It just transfers that heat from the processor to these heat sinks, which are just metal that transfer heat really well, and a fan that blows that heat off the heat sink into the air. So that way you can keep your fan or your CPU cool. So you don't want your CPU overheating and break up. Alright. Your CPU has what's called a power supply, or sometimes a PSU. Right here. There's a little switch on there. You can do that, and you want to turn that off so there's no power going to your machine. So this is, I don't know, I kind of tell you guys about it occasionally. This is my Frankenstein CPU. Here's my Corsair power supply. I can't remember what it's rated for, but it's powerful. I think I did like something way over what I needed. It was like 850. This is my Volix graphics card. Here you can kind of see. It's the NVIDIA 960. In retrospect, I think I wanted to do the N70, or 970, but whatever. Fancy audio card, I don't even use. It was the biggest waste. I have a real old school optical drive, 3 hard drives in here. Actually only using one right now. A lot of them are not SATA, they're old connection points. Invest in some dust off. And then you have a bunch of dust in here, but it's not your system. What we're going to go ahead and do is just unplug where the old CPU fan is connected and remove old fan. It is red, and this is the pre-applied thermal grease, so we actually don't have to put anything on there. I have thermal grease for the future if I ever do this again or want to switch something out. So that's actually really nice. It says I have to use their fan or else it voids the warranty. So there's this little lever down here. We're going to pick it up, and that's going to go ahead and allow us to take this processor out, okay? So if you look at this, it's very dirty. We do not want to touch the pins. The pins are little pokey things pointing out. We don't want to touch them at all. I'm going to lay this down with the pins up in this little case there. Just be very careful not to set anything on there, not to disrupt it, not to touch it, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and install our new AMD processor. If you look here, I don't know if you can see this well, there's little gaps. You can just match the gaps up because you'll see little plastic parts that don't have pin holders on the board. That kind of gives me a heads up. Hey, it goes in this way. Cool. So that fit in perfect. We just pull that lever down, and now our processor is locked in. Alright, y'all. So we have the mounting bracket in. Essentially, what I decided was that I should first mount the mounting bracket for the fan first, and then attach the fan via the spring-loaded connection, which is probably what is actually intended. But I like to make my life harder, so I did try to do it the other way. It took forever to attempt to do it the wrong way, and then it took probably about a minute to do it. Here's a lesson to be learned. So we've got our new fan plugged in, the Wraith cooler. At this point, unless we've done something wrong, so now we have an old fan we can use on a different system if we want, and we have an old processor, which by all means is perfectly good. We're locked and loaded. We're going to put our case back together. Alright guys, everything's plugged back in. We made sure to flip that little switch in the back for the power supply back to on. Forgotten to do that before and had a meltdown when my system didn't turn back on. I was like, what did I do wrong? Just forgot to flip the switch. So everything's good. Here's a moment of truth. Alright, obviously we got lights. I can hear the fan powering up. I can already tell you this Wraith cooler fan is way too freaking loud. I don't know what it is about AMD and their fans that makes them so loud, but whatever. Alright, so you can see CPU or memory change, press enter to set up, configure your system. So obviously we just did a major component change on our systems. We're going to be into our BIOS. This screen is going to depend on your actual system. In my case, I have a MSI board, so I don't know if you can tell, my temperature 52 degrees Celsius. It's actually very hot. That's a little bit concerning. 54 degrees Celsius is 129 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright guys, this is really exciting. I was obviously really concerned about the heat of my CPU. Called a friend of mine who's kind of my tech expert, and we loaded a software called Specky. Essentially what we found is that the AMD FX-8350, it just runs hot. There's 8 cores, and it can go up to 80 degrees Celsius, but once it gets to 100 degrees, obviously that's like over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. 100 degrees Celsius, it should automatically shut off, but if it doesn't, you should turn it off because you're going to melt holes in your computer at that point. Once we got out BIOS, once we load this up, we're running, currently, right now, we're ranging anywhere from as low as 17 all the way up to max really 30. So that's actually really good. That's where we want to be. It's a lot cooler. The only thing I would probably say about this is this fan sounds like a freaking jet engine. Whether or not I keep the stock fan on there because it's noisy, oh my god, it's so loud. And there are definitely cooler, quieter options than the stock fan. Really, honestly, this is going to give us our biggest boost. Is going to be on video editing. What I can tell you just looking at my computer, I'm having zero problems as far as CPU performance. This thing is taking it like a champ. So, but all in all, I'm very happy. As you can see, I didn't show before, but when I was doing this, my CPU couldn't handle it. I couldn't get a preview. I couldn't tell what was going on. It just kind of lagging, glitching. I could just hear the audio, but now I can actually do all this. I should be able to record in OBS with higher quality at this point. I'll be able to play more games, which is really exciting. And video editing is gonna be so much easier for me. So I'm to the moon. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I really appreciate you guys joining me on this and watching. If you have any questions about it, leave a comment in the bottom below. If you have done a really cool CPU upgrade or you have a really great machine, go ahead and list the specs below. It's kind of cool to see what other people are, what are they using, and what are you using to run? Like what's your most demanding software? For me right now, it's probably Premiere. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Y'all are great people and you do great things. Now go out there and be someone amazing.